Viewers, the Supreme Court has spoken today, and every self-declared savior of democracy or constitution must hear this clearly. A bench of Justice P.K. Mishra and Justice N.V. Anjaria said, and I'm quoting, "A chief minister of any state cannot walk in the midst of an investigation, put the democracy in peril. This is an act committed by an individual who happens to be the chief minister, keeping the whole democracy in jeopardy," unquote. Viewers, democracy in peril, democracy in jeopardy, these are not the words of a BJP spokesperson. These are the words of the Supreme Court of India about Mamta Banerjee. For years, the opposition has been screaming that Modi is a threat to democracy, that he undermines constitution. Rahul Gandhi carries the constitution in his pocket. They built an entire election campaign around saving the Samvidhan. But the Supreme Court has not said that about Modi. The Supreme Court has not said that democracy is in peril because of Modi. It has said this about Mamta Banerjee. What did she do when the ED raided the offices of IPAC, the political consultancy firm, advising the TMC? The chief minister personally walked into the office during an active search. The ED alleged she and senior police official barged in and removed key evidence linked to a money laundering probe. That's the case, viewers. But I want to ask, where are the people who claim to save the constitution? They have nothing to say. The court noted that even India's greatest constitutional minds would never have conceived a situation where a sitting chief minister walks into an office during a live investigation. The Supreme Court has held up a mirror, viewers. Will those who claim to be Samvidhan saviors have the courage to look into it? Let's find out without any delay. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, is joining us. Shubhankar Bhattacharya, political analyst, with us. Nikhil Jain, Umar Junaidi, Vivek Silas, they continue. Mr. Bhattacharya, if you could take the first question. So far the TMC, okay, we'll go to Mr. Bhattacharya in just a bit. But Nikhil, what do you make of the observations today?
I think, Pranesh, if the Supreme Court feels that what Mamata Banerjee did was so wrong, let them direct an FIR being lodged against Mamta Banerjee. Let Mamta Banerjee be put in the jail by the Supreme Court, because it doesn't really matter that there are elections the next day in the state and 60 lakh people whose names have been struck off for some sort of logical discrepancy that does not exist in any other state, or the SIR being conducted in any other state. The court doesn't care that these people can't vote, but of course the court can make statements which of course the BJP is going to use politically.
Okay, so you believe the court is being partisan here, right? You're an advocate.
The CBI investigation, have them call for the arrest of Mamata Banerjee.
Okay. Mr. Silas, in the first debate, you said ED, CBI. I said when we go to the second one, I have a question. The opposition has been saying that central agencies are being misused. Modi misuses it. It is the death of democracy. Do you know what the Supreme Court said about one of your alliance partners, Mamta Banerjee? CM, by visiting that site and obstructing the probe, has put democracy in peril.
I think I cannot question the Supreme Court. Obviously, we all respect the Supreme Court, whatever they say. But at the moment, I can just say definitely, as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party or the NDA government is concerned, they use the CBI and other agencies, ED, for their political gains, and they are their political tools. You know, if you see how political parties are shattered, they are broken. Take the example of Shiv Sena and NCP. They were just shattered and broken.
Even Silas, you believe in the Supreme Court? You just said you believe in the Supreme Court.
What happened in Madhya Pradesh?
You said you believe in the Supreme Court, right?
Of course.
Has the Supreme Court said anything adverse about CBI, ED, the BJP misusing it to break a political party?
You know, there are, at times, you know, there are questions when Prashant Kishore went to the Supreme Court for certain, you know, cases. The Supreme Court said, "Arey, aap to chunav haar gaye, isliye chale aaye."
Okay, so you have a problem with the Supreme Court, right? The mask has fallen off. In the first answer, you said we believe in Supreme Court. Now you have a problem with the Supreme Court. Mr. Silas, at least, you know, show some respect for the duration of the debate.
If the Honorable Court says something about Mamta Ji, they can, as Nikhil said, FIR should be filed, then
Okay.
she should be brought to justice.
Sanju Verma,
What
why
the
is the
problem in that?
BJP exulting already? These are just observations.
You know, Pranesh, I'm appalled, but I'm certainly not surprised at the hypocrisy of the other side. When I say the other side, I mean the Congress, the Samajwadi Party, the TMC, and the entire cabal. Let me just say one thing very categorically. Mamta Banerjee has been lambasted. She has been castigated. She has been criticized by the Supreme Court in no uncertain terms, saying you cannot interfere with a probe. By doing so, you are jeopardizing democracy. And you, matlab Mamta Banerjee. And this is not the first time. After the Panchayat poll violence in Bengal in 2023, the Supreme Court told Mamta Banerjee, if you cannot maintain law and order, let us know, we will find an alternative mechanism. The license to hold elections cannot mean the license to engage in violence, lambasting the Mamta Banerjee government. And do you know something? Just 2 months back, she had frozen DRS allowance of all Bengal state government employees. The matter went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court told Mamta Banerjee, you are culpable of playing politics and destroying the very concept of a welfare state. You should be paying the DA allowance along with interest and arrears to all the people who voted for you and whom you let down. Then Mamta Banerjee stopped work on the orange line of the Kolkata Metro. What did the Supreme Court tell her? Supreme Court told her, you are guilty. You, matlab Mamta Banerjee, you are guilty of dereliction of duty. You are obstinate. You are an obdurate chief minister. ये सारे सर्टिफिकेट्स ममता बनर्जी को देश के सबसे सर्वोच्च न्यायालय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने दिए हैं. Imagine now, Pranesh, had the Supreme Court said something similar about Yogi Adityanath or Himanta Biswa Sarma or Pushkar Singh Dhami or Mohan Yadav, the entire Jing Bang, the entire cabal sitting here would have said, देखा, Supreme Court ने फटकार लगाई. My last point. Let's be very clear, Pranesh, my last point. 2016 Malda riots, 2017 Bhaduria riots, 2018 Asansol riots, 2019 Jadavpur riots, 2020 Jalpaiguri riots, 2021 Sitakulchi riots, 2022 Birbhum riots, 2023 North 24 Pargana riots, and 2024, 25, 26 Murshidabad riots happened due to one thing. Mamta Banerjee is so Hindu-phobic.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Bhattacharya. Mr. Bhattacharya, you know, there has been a political blame game ever since we saw Mamta Banerjee walking into that IPAC office when ED was conducting raids. Today, the Supreme Court has weighed in. What do you make of the observations?
No, first of all, you know, what the way Sanju Verma spoke, I'm not saying it. She made it sound like that even Supreme Court is, the Supreme Court is also, that is also compromise. That is also standing Supreme Court. She's making it sound like, I'm not believing it, right? So that is the thing. Supreme Court is saying this thing to the Mamta. Supreme is only targeting the opposition. What do you mean by it? That means you're forgetting those instances, forgetting those risks which is Supreme Court, those findings, the observations that Supreme Court directed towards. Let me remind you, there has been few cases as, let me remind you the way Sengar case handled UP. Let me remind you of how your Lakhimpur case was handled, in which Ashish Teni, in fact, got a bail even. Now is completely free, the son of Ashish Teni. And similarly, I can go on, there is a number of cases. And there has been observations. See, what right at the moment I find very unfortunate. The unfortunate thing is that it was duty of our, you know, the democracy means the democracy that's so proud of is to deliver free and fair election to each and every voter, to each and every legitimate voter. So either you declare that all the 57 lakh voters are all legitimate, they're all by Pradeshi, they're all infiltrators, or give them the right to vote at least. Then you will lose, that is something we can deal with it.
Okay.
But first of all, make it sure and that every voter gets his rights to practice.
Right. Every legal voter must get, you have a great point and I agree with you. Every legal voter must be given that right and his right must be protected. Mr. Bhattacharya, but the question is not that. This is the ED obstruction case. This is not the SIR hearing. In this case, listen to me, sir. The court says, the court has observed that by doing this, CM put democracy in peril. Now imagine if the court had said that Himanta Biswa Sarma put democracy in peril, or Yogi Adityanath put democracy in peril, or Narendra Modi put democracy in peril, what would the opposition be saying? Simple question, sir. And only if you want to answer, it's okay if you don't want to.
I'm pretty sure that howsoever whatever the blame may be on Mamta Biswa and wife, one thing is pretty sure that there is going to be no finding at all. Actually, there is going to be no investigation at all.
Okay, so Supreme Court is compromised, right? The Supreme Court will only say these adverse things about opposition leaders. Mr. Bhattacharya, I'm glad you said that. Karan?
So, Pranesh, actually the Supreme Court has been too kind in saying that she put democracy in peril. Actually, Mamta Banerjee has trampled on democracy, though in an unprecedented fashion. I mean, leave aside snatching files. This government has roughed up and beaten ED officials, January 2024. Beaten NIA officials, April 2024. And when our good friend Shubhankarji, when he says, oh, has Didi done everything wrong? What has she done? Number one in acid attacks against women, leave aside the Hindu-Muslim thing. Number one in acid attacks in the country, West Bengal, under Mamta Banerjee. That is her track record. 35th out of the 36 states in conviction in crimes against women, the lowest 5%, 35th out of 36. That is the shameful record you've had. Justice Pardiwala said that it is shameful in the RG Kaur rape. He said, in 38 years of my career, I have never seen anything like this. Supreme Court, High Court, governors, NHRC, everyone has been sick and tired of reprimanding this government, Pranesh. We should not be surprised. This government has gone on to say that we will not give land to the BSF. What will they do with this land? Will they keep an eye on us? The High Court had to come hammer and tongs against them. That is the track record of this Mamta government. They have failed on every single front, and Mamta Banerjee is directly responsible for vitiating the atmosphere in West Bengal when she says these are Hindu areas, these are Muslim areas. 17 religious processions attacked in the last 3 years. All of them have been Hindu. This is the track record of this Mamta government, and I'm glad tomorrow when West Bengal goes to polls, they should remember each and every one of the things that I have just mentioned.
But Taran Verma, can I ask you something, Taran? Nikhil, I started with Nikhil. Nikhil says, and then Vivek Silas also sort of endorsed that. They are of the opinion that, I'm coming to you, Mr. Bhattacharya, just right after this. They are of the opinion that observations are fine, but if the court really believes something is wrong, they must institute a probe, CBI probe, what have you. Now, here's the hypocrisy. They want a CBI probe, they think CBI is cage parrot, but they want the CBI to probe. Someone was, mentioning things said by the Supreme Court against BJP leaders or involving BJP leaders. But now suddenly the court is suspect, compromised, what have you.
Pranesh,
Karan.
For the past 4 years, Pranesh, ever since I've been coming on TV, every single TMC sympathizer used to tell me, oh, this post-poll violence, it's all a farce. It's all a figment of imagination. Till they finally had a conviction in TMC leader Rafiqul Islam. So that is the TMC for you. They will continue denying. Finally, when a conviction comes, then they'll be left shamefaced. That is their reality today.
Mr. Bhattacharya, you were showing something, sir. Please.
Yes, can I come in? Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. So let me tell you, see, people get, they have that selective amnesia kind of thing, so they forget what exactly they're talking about. See, there are some key findings. Now, I asked the bill. So I'm no one to bring it from my own, my own infant or something. See, is high absolute number of crimes. First is Uttar Pradesh, second Maharashtra, third is Rajasthan, right? And then comes, this is the highest number of total. Now, Sarma won't let me speak. Now this hurts her. The highest crime rates in relative safety, the first one in this case from the south, that's what doesn't in the top 3, that doesn't have the top Bengal at all. That's showing Nagaland, Tamil Nadu, and this thing, that crime rate in relative safety.
Mr. Bhattacharya, I don't think, what you intend to do with this will happen, because the question was specifically about post-poll violence. It's an important one. And no one on the panel, Mr. Bhattacharya, I can tell you that I don't think anyone on the panel is of the opinion that, other states are without crime, crime-free. Would you also care to Google adverse comments like this one made against other chief ministers? Dekhiye if it comes up.
Pranesh,
See, that's what I'm saying. Now, even
Boliye, Mr.
is the
Bhattacharya.
question put to me?
Yes, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Okay. So now even the crime is actually, we have to even categorize the crimes also. So crime comes under two categories. Number one, general crime. That happens in all states in which BJP is. No, we don't talk
Mr.
about it. This is a
Bhattacharya,
separate-
why are you doing this, sir? Do you not understand the gravity of observations like this, that the CM put democracy in peril?
Crime
Why are you
only.
trivializing this? Sanju Verma, respond to that quickly.
thank you. Pranesh, first and foremost, let me tell the TMC spokesperson, Sanju Verma does not get rattled because I come armed with facts. I will tell you what happened in 30 seconds. There was the Park Street gang rape in 2012. Mamta Banerjee said women who go out drinking and have multiple boyfriends are inviting rape. Hua to hua. 2022 Hamsakhali gang rape. Mamta Banerjee said, "Eta rape chilo, na meta pregnant chilo, na eta love affair chilo." Implying maybe the girl was pregnant or it was a love affair gone wrong. 2024 RG ka rape murder. What did Mamta Banerjee say? Hua to hua. 2025 South Kolkata Law College rape. What did Mamta Banerjee
Okay.
say? Hua to hua. And Pranesh, my final point. 2026 Durgapur rape horror. She said the woman went out after 8 p.m. So if you go out after 8 p.m., rape to hoga hi.
Okay,
Hua to
Umar
hua.
Junaidi, Rahul Gandhi says we are संविधान saviors, democracy हम बचाएंगे. आज कोर्ट ने ये कहा है. इसको आप कैसे देखते हैं?
Pranesh, the observations of the Supreme Court are a part of a hearing, but not the orders. So whatever the Supreme Court has made the observation, that is right. And we believe, as advocates, the observation of the Supreme Court are right. Now the point is, jumping into the conclusion that the Supreme Court has observed that the CM has put the democracy into peril, it is because Mamta Banerjee was on the street in the office. The probability is that if this usage of CBI, ED was in the open, then the same observation was were to be made by the Supreme Court.
No,
on
Mr.
BJP.
Umar Junaidi, 1
Because
minute.
we
Let me
have-
ask you a more fundamental question. You are also an advocate. And इसका please जवाब दीजिएगा with sincerity. Do you think this is a state versus center issue? The raids on IPAC? Is that a state versus center issue?
Definitely it is.
Is IPAC part of the state machinery?
No, it is not.
Then
part of
tomorrow,
state
sir, if
machinery,
a
but
private
the-
firm, 1 minute, if a private firm supplies, 1 minute, for sake of an example, please bear me out, sir, and for lack of a better one, if a private firm supplies something to a government office or the political party in power in a state and criminal proceedings are launched, that firm is raided. Imagine if the state is governed by the BJP and the BJP says this is state versus that agency. ऐसे चलेगा सर देश?
Pranesh ji, you know very well why the IPAC was raided and what led to.
I
So
know
there are
that they were advising TMC, but it can't, just because they were advising TMC, it can't become a state versus center issue. Karan, last 30 seconds.
So, our good friend Shubhankar ji, how he deviates from the issue. Of course, UP में ज़्यादा crime है because of the population. Number of crimes नहीं होता, conviction से होता है. Conviction in the crime against women, UP is number 171%. West Bengal is 35th out of 36 at a conviction rate of 5%. You should not laugh at this. You should be ashamed of this. इस पे आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए. देश में, बंगाल में शर्म आनी चाहिए जो सरकार बैठी हुई है उस पे. ये है महिलाओं के प्रति क्राइम के
Okay,
अंदर.
Mr. Silas wants to say something. Yes, sir.
नहीं राइट नाउ संजू वर्मा जी ने 2012 पार्क स्ट्रीट की बारे में बात की कि ममता जी ने क्या कहा था. देखिए, जहां तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बात है, उन्नाव पे चुप हो जाते हैं, कठुआ पे चुप हो जाते हैं, मणिपुर पे चुप हो जाते हैं, हमारी जो पहलवान बेटियां उस पे चुप हो जाते हैं। एक मिनट रुक जाइए
मिस्टर साइलस, मणिपुर पे तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर बोल चुके हैं।
जो बनारस में हुआ था उसमें
मिस्टर साइलस, ऑन मणिपुर द प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैज स्पोकन। You see, you can't outshout. 1 minute.
लवन्ना के लिए वोट मांगते
Okay, we'll have to leave it at this. Completely out of time, Mr. Silas, but the Prime Minister spoke about Manipur. Maybe you were not aware. पढ़ लीजिएगा, उन्होंने बात की है. Let's leave it at this. The news hour with Navita Kumar on the other side.